Welcome to my video about what I actually use in my hospital bag. I previously recorded, right before I went into labor, what I packed for my hospital bag and what I thought was going to be useful. But there's definitely some things that I did use and didn't use, so I wanted to go over that just so I could recap for you guys. So what I'm going to do is watch the video and then pause it and go over all the items individually as to what I used, because all of it's put away now. And yeah, I just want it to be informative for you guys. So let's do this. Really what I have packed for baby, and I don't have those cool packing modules. I have one Velcro Swaddle. I picked the smallest one that I had because I think it'll work really great. So one Velcro Swaddle, and then I also have packed her going home outfit. So I have it all bundled up. It's like this beautiful white and pink outfit. And then I brought 3 different outfits essentially in one Velcro Swaddle. We used the Velcro Swaddle, I think 2 times. She didn't love it, which is okay. And most of the time I just kind of held her because that's really what you do at the hospital. At least that's what I was comfortable with. So I didn't really feel like I needed the swaddle too much, but I would definitely still bring it. You're gonna want a Velcro swaddle. The outfits. We were actually in the hospital from Tuesday to Friday. She was born on Wednesday, and then we got to go home Friday. So we actually needed more than just one outfit, let's say. But you could just, wrap her up in the hospital blanket and keep her in her diaper, that kind of thing. The hospital has onesies and that kind of thing, so you don't even need clothing if you don't want to bring it. But I will say for us, I only did the going home outfit, and I only used one of the sets that I brought. So I didn't necessarily need another set of a zippy sleeper and swaddle. But just in case you're there for much longer, you could totally bring extra with you. Coral set. This is a coral swaddle. It's not a Velcro swaddle at all. It has a magnetic knotted gown and a hat to match it, as well as little baby mittens so that she doesn't scratch herself. And then I also have one other outfit. So these 2 I won't bring her home in, but I'll probably take pictures in, maybe her announcement photo. This outfit matches the robe that I have, so that was my plan, and Mama Jean gifted these things to me because she's like, you need to take a picture at the hospital, you guys matching. So I have a leopard swaddle, a black onesie, it's a zippy onesie, and then a leopard bow and a black hat. Just haven't decided whether I want her to wear a bow or a hat. I want to keep her warm though, so I do have a hat. That is what I packed as far as clothing. It's probably overpacked, but you never really know how long you're gonna be there. So why not bring at least an extra outfit? I am going to pack, this is her diaper bag. I don't necessarily have everything that I would ever pack in a diaper bag, but just in case. I mean, I know I don't need to bring diapers and wipes, and the hospital has all that. So I don't really have any of that packed, but one thing that Soul Tribe Mama told me to pack was I have 2 different types of pacifiers. I highly recommend bringing pacifiers. I'm pretty sure that the hospital has them. I'm not really sure. I never asked, but I always had them, and I had 3 different varieties, and I would say it definitely helped. You don't know what kind of baby you're going to have, but Letty really liked just to suck, basically. So pacifiers were really soothing for her. Yeah. Actually 3. So I have a little ma'am one, I have this style one, and then I have a cutie pat one with a pacifier clip. So that's what I packed for that. I have a car seat cover in here. Car seat cover, if you don't have a car seat that has a built-in cover. Ours does. We have the Nuna Pippa Light, and ours has this really nice magnetic cover, and so I actually didn't end up using the car seat cover at all. But you make that decision. For when we go home, I have her little nail filing kit. The nail filing kit, absolutely bring it. They come out with really long nails and they can scratch themselves, and you need a way. I mean, a lot of people just like bite them off, but I was not going to do that. You can totally snag their skin, and so this nail filing kit was essential. That I got on Amazon. I'll link that below, because I've heard that, you know, their nails just come out real long, so you want to file them. And then I have her little like Hush sound machine. The Hush sound machine, totally, I mean, the hospitals are going to be very quiet and there is some kind of muffled noise, just that's the way hospitals are. But even on the way home, we kind of put it on a soft hush sound, and so I would bring it, which I know is going to come in handy in the hospital. And then I have her Vava Light, which I'll pack, but we use it at night right now. Vava Light is probably my favorite purchase ever, or put it on your registry and have someone else get it for you. It's not that expensive, and I use it every single night. It is the perfect night light. You can move it. It's like this little egg, and you just move it everywhere with you. It has a yellow light versus a really bright white light, and you can dim it, you can brighten it depending on how much you need to see of their diaper changing. But the hospital lights, you really only have the option to like turn on the big lights or maybe one pretty strong light. And so at night when you're trying to keep them like asleep and don't want to wake them up too much, that Vava Light is just so good. So I'll put that in here, and that's really it for baby. I guess I do have, this is like a stroller fan, so I am gonna pack this. The stroller fan I totally thought I would use to fan myself, let's say if I got hot during labor, but I was pretty comfortable, and I would assume that most hospitals kind of keep your room in a comfortable temperature, or you can request that it be warmer or cooler. I never used the stroller fan for the baby because it wasn't really hot outside. We didn't really need to. So you make that decision. It's just one of those that, yeah, you might need it and might want it for labor. For myself, and let's say it's super hot that day and it's for baby, I don't really think we'll use it for baby, but I've heard that people do use this during labor. So that's another idea. That's it for baby. So let's go over what I packed for myself. Again, these are recommendations from Soul Tribe Mama. She's had 4 kids. I loved her video. She's simple, but she also is like, she suggests you be really comfortable. So that's kind of what I'm going with. I have a nursing tank, so we get some like full coverage on the belly. I would recommend bringing a nursing tank for sure, just because you're going to get more coverage on your tummy. Like, let's say if there's so many people walking into your room, nurses, doctors, all that. So, you know, they don't care that your stomach's showing, but if you cared for some reason, or if you even felt like you wanted more support for your belly, because when you have the baby, it's just kind of like jiggly and it just feels weird. So it's nice to have that coverage. So nursing tank, yes. And then nursing bras, I don't know if I really needed to bring 2, but I could have just brought 1 and it been totally fine. For after the baby. I also have 2 nursing bras. These came in like a 5-pack from Amazon, so I'll try to link those below. Again, that's me being over prepared. I could probably easily just bring 1 and it would be fine. But I chose to bring 2, and the nursing tank. You just never know what you're gonna need. Most of what I have packed for clothing is dark colored because obviously you are bleeding and all that good stuff. So if you're gonna bleed on something, I guess you want it to be black so that it doesn't like stain or show. I don't know how Soul Tribe Mama had never had an issue and just brought like normal clothes and not black clothes. I'm so glad that I brought black clothes. I didn't have like a lot of issues, but they put a pad on your hospital bed for when you leak blood and whatever is coming out of you after labor. And I would say that it probably could have easily gotten on my clothes. So for postpartum, black clothes, highly recommend black pajamas, something really flowy, comfy, not too hot, and then button up front so that you could still nurse if that's what you're going to do. But she had said that, yes, you do bleed, but she's literally never had an issue with that, like, happening, I guess, when getting on your clothes. So I'm not too worried about it. I have a pair of Amazon pajamas. These are long black pants, super, super soft, and then a button-up top. So you can easily open it for skin to skin or for nursing, that kind of thing. I also have a laundry bag. It's just a silk laundry bag, so I can put all of my... That was something I'm really glad I brought, silk laundry bag, or just like a separate bag to put your laundry in, because you do have a lot of like just dirty laundry. You don't want really touching anything else. Dirty items in here. So that's gonna work great. She also suggested, bringing leggings. So I do have a legging like sitting here. I think I'll wear to the hospital. Then I have them there and I can wear them afterwards if that's what I feel like I want to wear. But I don't think I'll want to wear them. I think I'll want to wear something like looser. So I brought these like pajama style joggers. I'm personally glad that I went to the hospital with my leggings on, because I believe that I wore them home and I was happy to wear them home. I had a long sweatshirt to go over them. It helped, like, just made me feel more secure, my stomach more secure, because they're high-waisted pants. And then I don't actually think I wore the pajama joggers, so you could just leave those out. Sometimes, honestly, we were there, you know, for a couple days, and sometimes you just don't even wear pants. Because you're not really doing anything. You're kind of like sitting in bed and you're wearing diapers. So it's like, it's just, I don't know, you don't really need clothes. Probably wear those home from the hospital because they're nice and loose. I can wear like my diaper underneath, basically. Austin, will you hand me, there's a mama sweatshirt on the, it's that white one. It's by your right hand. I'm also packing my mama sweatshirt, which Austin's gonna throw to me. This is what I'm gonna wear home. So I'll pack this. I just didn't pack it yet because I've been wearing it. It's from Amazon. I haven't been able to find it since because I think y'all bought it when I linked it. So I'll pay attention to that and see if it's back in stock. So glad that I brought something cute to wear home from the hospital that was still comfy. So if you can find like a big sweatshirt that covers your butt because you're going to be wearing a diaper, and then some, you know, just something cute because you want to feel cute, in my opinion. I mean, you could go home and, you know, your scrubbies, but that's what I wanted to do. So I'm glad that I brought that sweatshirt. So I have that and these comfy joggers to hopefully just wear home. As far as shoes, I'm not going to bring, I mean, Soul Tribe Mama says that she wore slippers, like solid slippers to the hospital, and that's what she wears to and from, and she doesn't pack anything else. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I think that I wore sandals. What did I wear to the hospital? I don't even remember, but I did bring slippers with me. I think I wore flip-flops to the hospital because we live in Florida and you don't really need real shoes, and I didn't want to bring tennis shoes. They're too clunky. So I definitely used my slippers and I used my flip-flops that I brought. I didn't bring shower shoes, and I kind of wish that I would have brought shower shoes. I just assumed that hospitals kept it like super clean, which it was. It just felt like old and gross and dirty. So kind of regret not bringing shower shoes, but that's okay. We survived. And as far as the slippers go, when you are in the labor and delivery rooms, they do not let you wear your own socks or your own slippers, at least at my hospital, because you're at a risk of falling. And so you have to, anytime you get up, they make you put on your hospital socks that have the rubber footing. So just FYI. Probably just tennis shoes. I have no idea. I want to be comfortable, but comment below if you have a suggestion, because that's one thing I haven't figured out yet. So Like I said, I do have a robe. You can wear the hospital robe, which I will probably do. I wore the hospital gown for labor and delivery, and then I put on another hospital gown to go to the postpartum room, and then I eventually showered and put on some of my own stuff, so it's more comfortable. But I'm really glad that I didn't wear my own items for labor and delivery. I mean, I wouldn't say that mine was like a weird delivery experience. I just don't know how anybody wears their own stuff unless it's a true hospital gown that they bought on their own. Because I feel like you need it. I mean, your epidural, your like goes in your back. So you need one of those, like, you know, that opens up in the back, and then you need it with buttons on top so that you can do skin to skin after they're born. So in my opinion, it was just easier to wear the hospital gown, and I could just leave it there and not have to worry about it. She said that she wears her robe though, or if you have like your own hospital gown that has like an open front so that you can do skin to skin immediately, that's what she likes to wear. I think I'll be fine in the hospital gown. Those open up in the front too, so you can do skin to skin. And that way, if those get messy, your clothes don't get messy, and you can change into your own clothes afterwards. This is also just like a red nightgown. It's not like open on the top, but it's super stretchy. And I just brought it just in case I want something like a night shirt. I think I did end up wearing that nightgown one of the nights. Now, we were there for a couple nights, so if we were only there for one night, I wouldn't have needed that, so maybe just don't worry about it. And I don't want to wear pants at all, just another option. As far as any other clothing, I brought, if I could reach these, I brought 2 pairs of like comfy socks. I'm not really a sock wearer, so I actually imagine that I'm not going to use those very much. Comfy socks. I'm kind of glad I brought them, but I'm not really a sock wearer in bed because I get too hot, so I probably could have just done without socks. A, because they don't let you really wear your own socks, and B, I just got too hot with them on my feet that night that I was induced. And I brought a sleep mask. Somebody said like during their contractions, they liked to cover up their eyes and just kind of like zone out, and that's how they signaled everybody to leave them alone. So I kind of appreciated that. I have a couple pairs of like high-waisted black underwear, so I brought those. Sleep mask I didn't use, but I could see it still being beneficial. I just never really asked Brad to get it out of my bag. And then the underwear, I probably didn't need 3 pairs, but you can always just bring a couple just in case, just because they don't take up that much space. But black, highly recommend. Otherwise, I honestly just wore my adult diapers the entire time. I think I have 3 total, maybe just 2. I also know that at the hospital, they will provide you with large like pads, diapers, like whatever you need for yourself, because you'll be like bleeding after you deliver. But a lot of people said that they prefer to bring their own. And so therefore I have, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have no idea. I brought 6 adult diapers, and I think I used about 4. So I brought, in my opinion, a good amount. I did not like what the hospital provided. There was like these thin mesh underwear that didn't fit my butt very well. And I'm not even like a large person. I mean, I was kind of large, I guess, when I was pregnant, but and then the pads that they give you are just not good either. Yeah, they do give you kind of like ice cooler pads, and so I didn't bring those myself. They have those, you like pop them and they get really cold, and you can put them, you know, in your underwear or in your diaper or whatever, and that kind of like ices that area. So that's a good thing to ask for if you are at the hospital, but you don't necessarily need to bring those for yourself. So I didn't either. How many y'all need of these adult size? Depends. So that's what I brought to wear, and that's it for that. So let's go over just like the miscellaneous type items. Oh wait, actually I have one more thing. She suggested bringing like a comfy sweater. So I think I am going to like wear this to the hospital. I'm not really sure. It's going to sit out. It's not going to be in my bag. So we'll see if I bring it. I'm really glad that I brought that comfy sweater because it's open in the front, and so for breastfeeding and skin to skin, it was essential. And sometimes the hospital rooms get a little bit chilly, so that was a good thing to bring, even when it took up space. I feel like we brought so much to the hospital, but I don't know, they let us. It's like you're moving in, really. Now let's do miscellaneous items. So, one thing that Brad's sister-in-law suggested was bringing this manual pump. I have to ask her why, because I don't really know. Yeah, I did not use my manual pump. I just used it when I got home, so I wouldn't say that it's a necessity. Sorry, I can't really help you out with that. I am going to maybe bring my Spectra pump and leave it in the car, because sometimes what you can do is ask the lactation consultant to come in to your room, help you like use it, see if everything's appropriate. But I've heard that our lactation consultant at the hospital isn't that great. So I was right. The lactation consultant wasn't that great, especially that first night. So I had her at 5:51, and then about an hour later, the LC came in at about 6:45, and she was off at 7. So she was going over things like I couldn't even recall. Like, I just had a baby, and my brain was very foggy. I had just pushed for like 2 hours, and so she was just talking so fast, and there was no way that I was going to have room to even bring my Spectra pump in and go over that with her. Like, she was ready to go home. The next day, though, another LC came in, and I would have been able to go over my pump with her. She would have been happy to do it. She was very nice, so it was just a different person every day. But I didn't bring my Spectra pump, and honestly, it ended up being fine. I don't know. That's up to you. You could totally bring it, leave it in the car, and get it later and go over it with your LC, but you can also do that at another appointment in the future. I don't really know what's going to happen with that. But, I mean, I imagine this is going to be helpful. Again, I just don't know why she wanted me to bring it. So I'll ask her and I'll update you guys. Miscellaneous. As far as breastfeeding goes, I have this nice little bag set up that has some helpful items that are like postpartum type. I have a bunch of these disposable, breastfeeding pads because you leak and you just throw those out. I have nipple shields, which the hospital does provide these. Our hospital is apparently kind of stingy about it, and they don't really like to give these out, but I've heard so many good things about using a nipple shield at first because you're just not used to breastfeeding. So I have nipple balm in here, which will help a lot. I have this Haka, which if you haven't heard of the Haka, I would be surprised. But you basically like suction it to the boob that you're not feeding on, and your leakage gets like gathered in here so that you're not like wasting milk. I also have my own peri bottle, just because the ones that at the hospital they give you, it's just a squirt bottle. So this has like a nozzle, so it actually like squirts onto you, versus poor Austin's like learning all about these things he had no idea about. I am glad that I set up a little breastfeeding bag. It made it really easy to just access those items or ask Brad to go get that bag for me when we were in our postpartum room. Because what happens is you have a labor and delivery room, you have your baby, and then they move you to a new room afterwards. So in that new room, you're breastfeeding a lot, or you're feeding your baby a lot, whatever you're choosing to do. But for me, I did not use the disposable nursing pads. I still have not used any. I don't really leak, so it's not an issue for me. Nipple shields. Letty's a really good breastfeeder. I wasn't super sore at all, so I never used nipple shields, but definitely still bring them because I think they're helpful, and some hospitals won't give them to you. Nipple balm, like lanolin balm, I absolutely used from day one. I still use it, not every single time I feed, but definitely those first days, and I would say that helped a lot. Haka, I didn't use at all because I don't have like, well, the Haka, I don't know, maybe if it's your second, third, fourth baby, maybe it'd be helpful, but like for your first baby, pretty sure that you don't get much letdown on your opposite side because you're just, I mean, it's like colostrum. There's like little tiny drops coming out for your baby. So I don't actually think you need your Haka in my opinion. And then your own peri bottle, I loved bringing my own because it has like the spout. Whereas the hospital one that they give you is just literally a squeeze bottle. It looks like a shampoo bottle. So you'd be fine with what the hospital gave you, but I was glad to have my own peri bottle. One thing I didn't stick in there, I don't know why, I had it on my list and I forgot it, was Dermoplast, which is like a spray that like numbs you just temporarily. And I think I requested that from the hospital and they were able to give it to me, but actually no, they didn't. They didn't even have it. They did have witch hazel pads, so they gave those to you, so you don't necessarily have to bring those, but my hospital did not have Dermoplast. Anyway, so I've heard that just having that is just better than the ones that the hospital gives you. So again, you don't need to bring that stuff. It's just what I am bringing to feel more comfortable. I also have 2 10-foot long charging cords, so we'll have to bring plugins. I haven't put those in my bag yet, but I definitely will. One for Brad, one for myself. We used those chargers, like, I mean, Brad was so glad that we brought those, and I bought them on Amazon. We didn't have like 10-foot ones originally, but they were super helpful because anywhere you are in the hospital, they don't have outlets a lot of places, and we were on our phones quite a bit. Just because you never know what you're gonna need to charge, especially your phone, and you don't know how long you're gonna be there. You just never know. In this bag, I have like toiletry items. A lot of people say they didn't mind showering with the items that the hospital provides you in the shower, but you know, if you like being more comfortable and taken care of and like having your own products, then that's what I have, is like shampoo, conditioner, just small sizes. I have my contact solution, I have lotion, I have dry shampoo, I have breath mints, toothbrush, toothpaste, that kind of thing, deodorant. Really glad that I brought my own toiletries. I would recommend that. It doesn't take up much space, and it made me feel more like comfortable at the hospital having my own soaps and shampoos and all that good stuff. Just because, yeah, I think you'll be more comfortable that way. Last couple of items that I have packed already. This band, this belly, it's like a postpartum belly band. I used those belly bands. I didn't know if I would, and I actually really liked them because she was right. Your belly just kind of feels like very unsupported and just like jiggly, and I don't know. It's not really to help your stomach go down in size. It's just to make you feel more supported, your lower back more supported. So I recommend getting them, but they're not a necessity. These are, sorry, I'm like, yeah, okay. These belly bands are, they come in like a 3-pack. It's a specifically postpartum belly bands. I'll link them below, but I brought the waistband and the upper band. I did not bring the pelvis band just because that's what I'm literally just trusting Soul Tribe Mama. That's what she brought. She just said that everything feels kind of like loose after you have the baby, so she likes feeling kind of like brought in, a little bit stronger. So who knows if I'll use those. Obviously, if I have a C-section or have to have a C-section, then I won't use those because you'll have that scar and you don't want to put anything on that. That's what I have in my bag so far. I am going to bring a blanket. People suggested bringing a pillow as well, so I will probably bring a pillow just to be more comfortable. I'm going to suggest that Brad also bring a blanket and a pillow because people said that, yes, you want to be as comfortable as possible. Brad and I brought our own pillows and we brought 2 blankets. So I'm really glad that we did. You can either be cold or hot, like I said, in the hospital, but The pillows at the hospital suck. They're very flat, so I'm really glad we brought our own. We were more comfortable. As much as I felt like we were just moving into the hospital, it was worth it, and nobody like looked at us weird or made fun of us, so that's my opinion. And hospital pillows suck, and so do their blankets. But you don't have to bring any of that. The hospital has those things, just makes you more comfortable. Okay, so let's go over some of the things that I don't have in here. Again, I don't have slippers or shoes, so comment below what you think I should bring for that. And then I don't have my razor in there yet. I don't have my toothbrush and toothpaste or my brush because I use those on the daily. I'll just stick them in. So I have this nice list on my phone of things that still need to go in last minute. I have my charger and plug-in. Somebody said that they like speakers, like a little portable speaker for music. So that might be something I consider. Let me see. And then some other suggestions were a heating pad. That's up to you. I might stick it in, might not, but I will definitely be bringing my hydro jug along. I'm going to eat. If I know that I'm on my way to the hospital, I'm going to eat there or like on the way, because you can't eat once you're admitted, basically is what I've heard. And if you're there for 36 hours and you don't get to eat because that's how long you've labored for, that sucks. I have heard that people have brought in like protein drinks and just kind of snuck that, but I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll bring a couple of those. I am going to bring probably some Gatorade just because you can have that. And then snacks upon snacks. That's one major suggestion that you guys had on Instagram, was bring snacks, bring things to eat before and after you have the baby, and then for your husband as well. You could consider some like entertainment items. I know people that like play games or watch movies on their computer. We are going to bring the camera and the tripod just to set up in the room, so we can maybe capture like some of the delivery, not anything graphic, but just like us and our reactions to the baby and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think I tackled everything, but please comment below if you feel like I'm forgetting something. Just going over this list, I brought an entire snack bag. We went through quite a bit of it. I did not drink any of the little powdered Propel or Gatorade packets that I brought. I definitely drank out of my hydro jug. I did not use a heating pad at all. I was just fine without it. It was just not a necessity. I did not bring a speaker for music, and I'm glad that I didn't, because I didn't really need it. You can always just turn on your phone if you need to listen to something calming. I, of course, brought all my toiletries. I only brought one hair tie, so I would say bring multiple hair ties and braid your dang hair before you go to the hospital, because as soon as you get there, they are inserting, well, for me, because I was induced, they were inserting like an IV and, stuff to put medicine in. And so my hands were just like tied up and I couldn't braid my hair very easily. So definitely suggest that. I never used a razor, so you don't really need to bring that. And then bio oil, I did use on my stomach just because it felt good. Most of my snacks I really geared towards Brad's desires, which was great, and I'm glad that I did that. But because we were there for so long, I'm also glad that I brought snacks for us. Also bring gum. That was something that I'm glad I brought. What else? Let me think. Chapstick. Definitely bring chapstick. So I actually wrote notes at the hospital too. And I wanted to mention some things that I hadn't before in this video. I used Colace while I was there because the hospital doesn't have it. So I took that. I also recommend using the nipple balm like right away. I know I said that, but that's what I highly recommend. I also brought a nice moisturizing like sleep mask. So we were there for a couple days and that really just kind of made me feel refreshed. So that's something that I would bring. I did not bring a donut pillow and I kind of wish that I would have. And you never know. I thought the hospital might have like a blow up one and they didn't. So maybe invest in a donut pillow. And then another just recommendation that I have in general is to sleep. Like if you're being induced or you go in like fairly early in your labor, make sure you rest and sleep. It was not something that I did, and it's so easy to like encourage you guys to do that, but I know in the time, like when you're there, it can be very exciting and you're anxious and that kind of thing, but they offered me kind of like a relaxant and that helped me sleep for at least a couple hours, and I'm so glad that I did that because I didn't realize how heavy of a labor it would be. So that's what I would suggest. You don't know what's coming, so make sure you're just resting and sleeping as much as possible before you have to like push. That's it though. That is all of the recommendations I have. But if you have another one, definitely comment them below so we can all share with the new moms. But like this video, comment below, share it with someone that might be going into labor soon, and subscribe if you haven't, because we're sharing all of postpartum and all the new adventures coming up with the baby and Fat and Weird Cookie and a new house. So lots of fun things to come. You're worth it.